Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to True Tone episode 19. Oh, Lord have mercy. That intro always gets me. It always makes me laugh. I hope it makes you guys laugh too.
Who the fuck
welcome
made
back,
that?
of course, as always.
I made it.
Were you high
It's
on
so
acid
good.
when you were making that?
You
What
know,
the
I think
fuck?
we all were during that
Did you?
episode.
I was about to
really
say, did you
don't
not see
remember
that
what
episode?
happened.
Anyways,
No,
welcome back to
what?
True Tone,
Oh my
everyone.
God.
I am Adam. Ian will be here in hopefully a little bit. Of course, with us, as always, we have our normal crew. We have Mr. Potato Head over there. We have Mr. Michael right up there, and we have Mr. Drew right up there. Lord have mercy. How is everyone? How y'all doing?
Good.
Crickets.
Boiled.
All right.
I'm boiled today. Actually, fried.
Right.
Yeah.
Fried potatoes.
I just woke up. Yeah, I just woke up. How y'all doing?
Good. How's that
All right.
13 Pro?
Oh yeah. So did you guys already talk about what devices you guys got?
Not yet.
I'm
No,
back.
so
Alright.
it
What
seems
were we
like you all
talking about?
got. I don't know. Did you all stick with the maxes or because?
So I wanted to, but I wasn't able to get a Max in stock, so I got a 13 Pro. I got a 128 gigabyte graphite, aka black, 13 Pro, smaller size.
Yeah, I
Should
got
Should we wait
the,
until
oh,
Ian comes until we do the introductions, or
No,
the
no,
phones and stuff?
he's late. He's probably not going to be here, and if he's going to be here, he's going to be for
Yeah,
like 5
we don't
minutes,
know
so.
when he's going to be here.
Yeah, it's just kind
Alright.
of a waiting game. But for now, yeah, I got the 256 gig 13 Pro Max. It's awesome and the best color available, blue, because
Agreed.
matches the AirPods.
Not really.
It matches my headphones. What are
He
you talking
said, "Not
about?
really."
They
at
do.
that.
It's not like
Look at that.
the
Look at how
best
you
color
can't
or
even see
something.
it, but like, no, it's cool. And then I have this phone that I still have yet to return that I will eventually return, hopefully, because I don't want to pay $2,000 for this thing. Please,
Crazy
Samsung.
expensive.
please take my return. Thank you. What about you, Drew? What'd you get?
I got the Pro Max.
Oh, the Pro Max.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Pro Max.
No. You know what it is?
Be
It's
careful.
the Pro Max XL Plus Mini.
I think it's just the 14 Max at that point. Oh,
Right.
14 Pro Max or 13. Jesus. What? Okay. Yeah, these numbers are
And then-
confusing.
The Pro I'm returning, so
Aw.
Ooh.
yeah, I'm gonna keep the.
Are you
the
gonna
Pro
actually
Max.
keep the Pro Max for a long time, or are you gonna like sell it?
Yeah, no, I got it on T-Mobile purposely with the trade-in for the iPhone 10, so it was free. So I'm just gonna keep it on my line and use it for my camera for my channel. And
Nice.
yeah, I'm liking the Mini though. The iPad Mini is pretty solid. I wish it folded, but it's pretty awesome.
Wish it
I mean,
folded,
it
man.
can fold just
Oh,
once.
man. Yeah,
Just
just
once.
once.
Right.
Yeah.
Has
That's
I was
the
about to say, has Jerry Rig Everything done a video on it yet?
not yet. He just did his
It'd be
video on
pretty
the flip
stiff, though.
actually. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'd be a pretty
Let's
stiff
see.
device. I don't think it'll really like snap in half like the Pro does.
It was interesting that the
pretty
Flip
strong.
3 didn't snap in half. I mean, I guess I'm
Dude,
not
I'm not
necessarily
surprised,
surprised, but it's cool that it's so.
I could snap this thing in
That
half
phone-
100% if you gave it to me. I mean, I could do it with this one, but I'm not going to. But I mean, it's flexible to the point
iPhone?
where I could no the Flip 3.
If he bends the iPhone, I would be very impressed.
Okay,
That
yeah, no,
shit's made
there's
out of
no way.
stainless steel. No
I-
way.
I'm gonna actually try to. Oh, I just heard a crack. Okay, well that was not great.
Please don't tell me you just broke that phone, dear.
I think I broke
Lord.
it. Wait. Okay, no, we're good. I tapped on the screen and didn't do anything for a second. I heard a creak, so maybe let me
Lord,
not
If
break
you
my
guys
Maybe
know
don't
what
do that
panic
again.
looks like, that is very slight panic in.
because they're not like for sale right now. So I'm just gonna leave it alone. God,
Yeah.
okay. I'm sorry, phone. There is
Yeah,
a
what-
fault on it though with the ultra wide, so I already have a replacement coming in somehow. The business portal has it kind of chugging along, so that'll be fun. I'll have two 13 Pro Maxes for a second.
Yeah.
So real quick,
trying to-
just while I'm thinking about it, I don't know if we're doing this yet, but in the future, and this is just kind of to our viewers, whoever, I don't know how many viewers we have, but I know that so to those who don't know, StreamYard just opened up their ability to stream to Twitter. So hopefully in the future, if you guys are watching on YouTube,
back.
which it looks like at least everybody so far is, if you are watching on YouTube, hopefully very soon we should be able to start streaming to Twitter, so you won't have to.
We
go
actually
to YouTube
already are streaming on Twitter.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that was going to be, yeah, because it says some destinations won't get comments, but I just didn't know, kind of what that was about. So if you
Nope,
don't
it's-
already know, if you are on YouTube and you would like to view on Twitter, we are now streaming live on Twitter, and hopefully, we'll continue to do so, and for however long StreamYard lets us.
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
I thought that was pretty awesome, because that was one thing I thought would be super helpful, would be a straight Twitter integration. So I am glad that they introduced that.
Yeah, no, that was pretty cool. It looks like Miles got his 13 Pro today. Awesome. Glad you like it. That's awesome. Hey, what's up? Too technical. I'm not going to pronounce the first name because I don't want to butcher it somehow, even though it's probably super easy for everyone else. And
We got Mr. Drew Lips in the chat. Who's that?
Oh,
Who's
welcome.
that guy?
Let's see. Will this thing stop falling, please? No? Okay.
Just need to tighten it.
Yeah, but when I do tighten it, it still falls. So I need to get a new boom arm, probably, which is going to be fun. There we go. Okay, it'll stay for that. So, what's new?
It is kind of crazy how these 13 Pro Maxes sold out like crazy, though, because you can't get them anywhere. I went to 2 Apple stores this weekend, and they were telling me that with the pandemic, obviously last year, like most people ordered online. And so they kind of expected similar outcome this year where there wouldn't be lines and stuff, but every day consistently just lines out the Apple store for iPhones. And the 13 Pro Maxes were like, they were gone day one launch, like nothing at all. No replacements. Like they don't have
parts. I'll tell you what, I think one of the biggest reasons why is because they are relying on hype, because there are so few new features of the newer phones, at least, outward facing features, that I think they're relying a lot on hype. And I think they're hyping it a lot more this year than they were last year, because again, they have to rely on that hype.
I don't think that's what's really happening. I think they didn't really make many units to begin with. Not only just because of supply chain issues currently because of the the global situation, but also at the same time, Apple knows there's literally no improvements.
I'm gonna have to stop you right there. They made the exact same amount of units that they did, pretty much, not more than the 12 Pro Max from last year. So it's not really a supply issue; it's more just demand. It's literally just higher to this year for whatever reason, which makes no sense considering the 12 Pro Max was more of a I guess more of a substantial upgrade than the 11 Pro Max, in my opinion.
I wonder if people just didn't see it that way, right? Like a lot of people, maybe they saw that promotion display and stuff and were like, oh, maybe I'll get those. I mean, honestly, like I kind of wish this was the 12. Like I wish they would have just came out with this last year.
Yeah,
like,
that would have been perfect.
A really nice phone. Like the cameras are improved. Like low light photos are so much better.
Macro is nice.
Macro is really nice. I don't notice a huge difference with the 120 hertz unless I'm going between if I go to the iPad Mini and then go back to it, I can tell. But it's like it's subtle. It's not like
it's the complete opposite.
Really, dude? I've been noticing the 120 hertz every single second using this phone. Like it's amazing.
Yeah. Like the animations are so much smoother. It's
have you
bad.
gone back to a 60 hertz?
Yeah, it's terrible.
My iPad and my computer are 60 hertz. Like I always see a big difference. It's like, oh, this is smooth. What is this? It's like, I don't know. I don't know what the best example is. It's like lotion for the eyes.
I remember the very first time I ever saw a 120 hertz display, and it was, I mean, it's just, it's so crazy how different it is. You know, like, I mean, you get used to it really quick. I mean, it's not like there's a learning curve or anything, but you just, you get used to it so quick. And then, you know, within 10 minutes, by the time you go back and look at a 60 hertz display, I mean, that's it. That's it.
Yeah, no,
it's like
a lot better.
Oh, sorry, I got you off.
No, good. Are you alive?
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, cool. No, I'm alive. I thought you were gonna continue speaking. What I was gonna say was like sitting in a leather interior car and then like sitting in like a cloth car, right? Yeah. It's like, oh, this is nice. This feels nice on the skin. But then like after 20 minutes, it's like, okay, yeah, I'm sitting something soft. It's the same thing essentially, right? Unless it's like leather, like heated seats or something, in which case that's different. But that's like 4K and 1080p kind of comparison, you know? It's like a very big difference. But you know, cloth and leather, kind of get used to it after sitting. It's sitting. It's like a chair. It's not really very different, but still appreciated effort.
Oh yeah. Let me show you guys a quick picture I took. It's I don't know, one of my favorite macro pictures. It's just so simple, but like this bee, like you can see all of the detail on this specific bee.
It looks good.
Also, this bee kind of like died shortly after taking this picture, so rip. He was the homie, but
10 pictures taken moments before disaster.
Basically,
right?
Yeah.
It looks good though.
Yeah, no, it's solid for a macro, like the first time Apple's on a macro lens. So that's awesome though.
Yeah, I like the macro a lot. And then, okay.
Is it just you go on wide camera and then just zoom in really a lot?
No, so you just go on the ultra wide and then go up close to your subject, and it focuses in automatically.
That's pretty cool. I do have to say, though, they do need to give you the ability here soon to toggle it. I know they said they're working on that, but because it is frustrating, because I have had a few instances where it's trying to take a macro shot and it shouldn't be. So that's been a little annoying because the automatic, like whatever it's trying to do from an AI standpoint to figure it out. But overall, it's really solid.
I wonder if that was their plan from the beginning, was to just leave that like that, or if they knew that they were going to eventually add a toggle, but that this is just like a stopgap, because it seems like if they put enough work into making it so it was an AI based thing, like it seems like that was originally the intent, but then so many issues occurred that it was like, yeah, there's just no way. So yeah, that is.
I'm kind of curious. So with the 12s last year, did you guys realize any sort of camera switching when you're in, like the 2x zoom or 2.5x zoom, between the telephoto camera and the wide camera when you're in that?
Is a lot more like it's very easily noticeable this time.
Right. Yeah. So on the 12 Pro that I got in, it kept switching because I was trying to take a cool like telephoto picture. And if you reference to this picture here, let me do that right here. The only camera that's not cracked is the telephoto, so you can obviously tell when it's switching cameras. So I was trying to take a picture and it kept switching over to this stupid wide lens, which was, obviously doesn't work. So I hope they fix that in the 13. I don't think they have. I mean, in my opinion, the 3x zoom quality looks kind of poor. At least
I'm not
worse
a huge
than
fan
the
of the
2.5x.
And another thing with like low light photos that I wish they would improve, that I like on like the Samsung, especially like the S21 Ultra. I mean, obviously we don't have 100 times zoom, but one thing I like on Samsung's phones is if you take a photo at night, like the moon and stuff looks normal, like the moon. Whereas like the iPhone just blows out all
like
the
a
light
white dot.
and like it looks terrible. So I kind of wish they would improve that, because to your point, the 3x zoom, that's not really that great either. I've noticed that it's kind of blurry and you lose a lot of detail, but everything else has been good. And then battery life is like, that's insane.
No, it's crazy. Just like falling asleep with my phone at like 40%, and I haven't charged it once, and it's at 36.
Yeah,
like
it's really good.
Must be nice to have the Pro Max, huh?
Well, the Pro's battery's gotten better too. So
yeah, I was gonna say I used the Pro the last few days, and it's since Friday, and I only charged it once. It's been the last
I've
2
never
days,
used the Pro, the 12 Pro or the 11 Pro for longer than like a few weeks, so I don't know what the battery life is usually supposed to be.
So on the 12 Pro, it was bad. Again, I only had that really for a few days, but from those few days from launch, it sucked. The 11 Pro, I had to get the smart battery case for, so there's that. But yeah, not great. But the 13 Pro really improved, which is awesome. I mean, it's a little heavier, but as long as you're not
this shit's chunky.
And so you notice it a lot on the Pro, by the way, like on the Pro versus the Pro Max. And I think it's just because, like I was saying before, the weight distribution feels better on this, because the 13 Pro is like a brick. That thing is super heavy.
I swear this is the same weight as the 12 Pro Max or more. Like that's kind of what it feels like.
It's close to it, I think. Yeah,
it's interesting to me how the gates situation has kind of died down. Yeah, like Ben
the iPhone
gate. Oh yeah, the iPhone gates. But it's like every year, like by the time the new phone comes out, you can look back and almost like one glaring problem, you can kind of turn it into a gate. Like with the 12s, at least the Pros, you can kind of say that there was a battery gate because of how bad the battery life was. I guess maybe MagSafe, maybe, but I don't know.
No, there was a specific issue that Apple issued for the 12 and 12 Pro for no sound coming out of the earpiece speaker. So that was an issue with the 12 and 12 Pros.
It's so weird though, because I had never heard of anyone I had never heard of anyone having that issue until they actually started releasing until they announced that program, and then like a bunch of people were coming out saying, "Oh yeah, I had this issue," and whatever. But yeah, I
know somebody who went into the Apple store that actually got their 12 Pro replaced for free just because of that issue, and they sent it off to the engineering team, kind of like Drew's phone. And then they issued the thing.
Yeah, so it was funny. So I went in there today to the Apple store, and so for those that don't know, my iPhone 13 Pro Max out of the box faulty camera, the front facing camera. So it was just black. I tried a whole bunch of different software stuff to try to reset it, restore it. Working with like a virtual Apple rep, they sent me like a new iOS 15 file to like flash and try to like restore it. That didn't work. So basically they deemed it hardware. So I go to the Apple store, and there was actually 2 other people in front of me with the exact same issue. Same phone, like Sierra Blue, 13 Pro Maxes, front-facing cameras, just dead. And they didn't have like any like, retail, like brand new, like they could just swap out because they're sold out. And then part-wise, so they're not getting parts until October 21st is what they were told at the store I was at. So they were like, we can't like take it apart and fix it. So they didn't even turn it on. They're like, we'll just get you one of our Genius Bar models, which basically they just go get like this white box, and then there's just a 13 Pro Max in it. They hand me that, and then I was good to go. They're sending the old one. I had to sign like a release letter for them to send it to Apple Engineering, and then I'm going to get a call or email back from that engineering team once they've reviewed it to tell me basically what happened, so they can take it apart and be like, hey, this is what was wrong with it. Here's what happened.
Think they're going to just get to the bottom of it and just say, oh, yeah, no, the flex cable wasn't seated correctly or something stupid. I mean, the problem is that if that problem was it was the first 2 people you said in front of you had the exact same issue under the exact same unit. So I wonder who else got that issue, because if there's 3 people in the exact same store that have reported it on the same day at the same time, that's concerning.
Well,
that issue is very common for every iPhone with Face ID, though. The front camera not working.
Right.
So that's what they told me as well. They told me that there's either 2 things could have happened. To Michael's point, something could be disconnected. But apparently in transit, depending on how safely it was in transit, and like because I mean they ship it in these like terrible cardboard boxes, right? Like
Yeah.
depending on how much it was like dented and dinged and stuff like that, it's possible it threw something out of it and like something out of balance basically in the actual lens. At least that's what they told me at the store. So I don't know.
Well,
The
you know
other
what I
issue
noticed on your
go
box
Yeah.
was that there was like a small like ding on the top or something like that.
Yeah, see, I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, see how it's dented right there? That's how it
Yeah.
arrived. So I was like, maybe it was just from in transit, but the other people, like their boxes were fine. But there was 2 other people there as well, and a third that was walking in that I was talking to. He said he had I don't know if you guys have seen like the bent frame issue or the like frame issue
Where the antenna line is?
Yeah. So 3 people were there at the store for that same issue, but it was on. They had the regular pros. They didn't have nobody had the Max when I was there for that issue. So I don't know if that's a big issue too. Yeah. So like the speaker grill, there's basically like a huge gap between the speaker grill and then the actual frame of the device. And there's quite a few people on Twitter I've seen saying the same thing.
I had that with my 10 actually.
You know what I think it is? I think because they've rushed this out so quickly, they haven't had time or they haven't been able to review them as closely for QC. And I bet that because they haven't been able to QC them as well, that's probably why there's so many issues. I mean, if we are within the first like 1 or 2 weeks, so I mean, it could just be that because they're so early, it could just be these early models are having this issue. But I do wonder if in the coming weeks we will see more people with the same issues. It'll definitely.
So the production units got started to roll out in July for the 13 Pro Maxes at least. Mine was made in August, so I was able to tell that by looking at the data for everything inside.
And can you send me the links for the post you saw, the bent frame thing? Sorry to interrupt you, Michael.
That's good. But yeah, no. So there were several QC tests ran on all these devices, kind of months prior to launch. That's why they do this. That's why the Series 7 was delayed too, was because of a QC issue that hasn't been resolved yet. So
the issue there was that they were originally going to release one watch, and then that watch didn't end up coming out. I mean, there's
no. Whatever you want to believe, I'm sorry, but it's not true. There was never a plan to release that series or that design of Apple Watch this year. Maybe next year, but this year, not at all. There's no chance whatsoever. I've confirmed that with several people that are internal too. They're all on that side as well. So
yeah, for what it's worth, that's
design
like
showed.
Right after. That's what Ian Zelbo said, because he said that's what he thought happened. But I mean, that was right after. So it's more than possible that he got more information. But it was funny because what a lot of people were saying was during the event, that jump cut between what I think was like the iPad, and then it went straight to the Apple Watch, and that jump cut, they thought that bit with the Apple Watch was replaced. Yeah. So
no. I don't think they could have done that much rush in production and everything like that, especially for all the promo images and the videos that were taken within a few days before the announcement and all. No.
Yeah, that is.
It's fair. All just coincidental.
I mean, and I didn't think too much of it. I mean, I just didn't really think too much of it. When I saw that, I was like, oh, okay, that's what happened. And then I just didn't, like I said, I just didn't think too much of it afterward. But yeah, the more info that is released and shared about it, the more it kind of makes sense. But yeah, it's interesting the way that the whole event kind of played out. We just thought so many things were going to happen, and then. Nope.
Well, the problem is that so Apple doesn't like to rush things, right? So if that design was real, right? If it was actually dropping this year with the 13 Pro and all that sort of stuff, then we would have seen it at the event, launched, and they would have given us a later release date. Where with this one, we have kind of all of the tools that we need to kind of see that it's it's here. Oh, hey Ian, how's it going?
Hi. Sorry it took me so long to get here.
Welcome to Ian's Tech, the best YouTube channel in the world. Yeah, there you go.
We're only halfway done streaming. It's fine.
Okay. That's good.
Are we?
That's
No, we're like not even halfway done.
good.
At least from what I can tell. We're 25 minutes in.
That's good. Oh, Drew's drinking regular drinks today. Okay, all right.
Ooh.
Non-alcoholic beverages. All
Is
right,
it a
very nice.
hard seltzer or is it just
No,
seltzer?
it's just seltzer
Huh?
water. Oh, look, it's
Oh, wow.
Kroger. I'm proud of you, Drew. He's saving money. Save that money.
No,
And you.
actually,
Me over here still drinking my normal.
Mine was name brand, but this is what they gave me when I picked up my groceries.
You mean they substituted it for you?
Yeah.
They voluntold you to take that.
Ah.
All right, so I know I interrupted you, Michael. You were talking about something. Sorry about that.
You're good. Yeah, no. Basically, TLDR. They're not. The Series 7 design was not supposed to launch this year. It's just more of a next year thing. So we'll see the redesign of the Series 7 and the 14 with whatever they do with the display. They'll end up doing for the Pros and the Pro Maxes, and they'll call it a day.
So let me ask you this. Mm-hmm. So the first design of the Apple Watch that lasted what? 3 generations, right? Well, technically 4, right? Because we had Series 0, 1, 2, 3. So it's 4 generations. So this is on its what? Is this on its 4th generation? 4, 5, 6, 7?
Of redesigns. So
yes. For the Apple Watch, I'm assuming that's what. No, because I mean,
Makes sense to me.
Wait, okay.
4, 5, 6, and 7.
So if we're going by 4 generations before they do a major redesign, then we're saying so the first design was Series 0, 1, 2, and 3. That's 4 years of that one design. Then they went to then the Series 4 was redesigned, and we're keeping that from 4, 5, 6, and 7. That's another 4. So the next design should hold us off till what? So we're gonna have the Series 8, 9, 10, 11. And then after that they'll redesign it. So it's interesting how they do it, and I think it's probably more so a monetary thing. The reason they're doing it the way they have been, because I mean we went from having we got a new generation after 2 phones every single time, and now we're getting it after 3 or 4.
Well, just know that they're planning on building.
About to say,
what's up?
I was just about to say, I really seriously think that they should switch the way that they're releasing new Apple Watches, because at this point, and it's been proven this year, considering that the processor and the new watch is exactly the same as last year.
Yeah,
I think that they really need to switch their model to either every 2 years or something else, because what they're doing right now is not working. I mean, they just don't have a reason to refresh it every year if there's not enough to warrant a refresh
these generation watches though are more like S-tier watches. So it's like for people that have like Series 5s or 4s that are on the end of their lifespan and they want to upgrade to a new watch. So they get this one.
But it is kind of crazy that like the way it seemed when they first announced it, I was like, wow. So they didn't use the new design that we saw leaked, but then they also recycled the same processor in the same body with effectively basically just a new screen, which is kind of crazy.
They did the same thing with the Series 5 too.
And that was exactly why earlier, that was another one of the reasons why, like I was saying earlier, why one of the reasons that people were saying why it looked like they had just at the last minute switched it over to this kind of backup design. That was one of the proofs that people were saying.
But if you said that, then you'd want to say the same thing for the Series 5 then, because the Series 5 and the Series 4 have basically the same SoC. Mm-hmm. So,
but I'll say this, well, it was kind of crazy because, at first glance, like what Adam said, it sounded like they recycled it at the last minute. They just changed it at the last minute. But then someone said on Twitter, they said that it takes months for that to actually happen because they're already well into their design cycle of the watch or whatever they have. I mean, honestly, I could kind of see them having a backup plan and they already have the manufacturing already ready for what is already out, which is basically effectively a Series 6, and they could just add a color to it. And then if it's just the same SoC, then it's literally the same board and everything, but the only thing that's changed is effectively the screen. So that's they're manufacturing the body of the watch. Just the screen is the new part.
The housing's changed as well. It's not the exact same thing as the Series 6. There's been several factors that have changed. The charging standard, the housing, and the display have all changed in the Series 7. As well as the logic board, just of course, would make sense.
Quick thing, remind me in just a second. I do want to touch on the charging thing. I just remembered. I want to touch on that here in a second.
On that note, the charging standard, how would that change? That doesn't seem to really change the actual housing of the watch. You could still
but that's just another thing that they changed. They physically, if you look at the housing shape, it's different than the previous generation watches.
But like you're saying, what would that change? That would only change something internally. That wouldn't change.
Yeah.
That might change the bottom part of the watch. That's still a piece.
Right. Yeah.
Of,
That. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I'm
that's
just
not
mentioning the
even
different
housing.
factors
like
that have
a
changed.
chip
Yeah.
and like a few lines that like pass voltage through.
Yeah, but no. What I'm saying is though, if the housing effectively hasn't changed, but like Michael's
has,
saying,
though.
there's other things that did change. But I'm saying like the charging, for example, I don't think that would change the housing of the watch because that's
No,
still
that
just the bottom piece
right.
of the watch and the
Yeah.
circuitry. Okay, maybe
No.
yeah, the charging standard
That
might
that
be
alone
the
wouldn't change the
Pro
housing.
and the
I was just
13 Pro,
mentioning it.
like the chassis is essentially the same, but it's like
Yes.
technically small changes. Technically.
But like,
I think that's
my
kind
thing
of
is, I don't know their manufacturing method or process. So like, what I'm kind of curious about is like, how hard would that be to change? So if it's something very minor as far as like
for
the
Apple,
chassis is
probably
concerned,
like nothing.
No. So they
Right.
run A/B testing between prototypes. So there's A and B, as you know.
Mhm.
A would be, let's say, this design. B would be another design. I'm not saying
Right.
specifically the new one that we've seen leaks of before, but I'm just saying another design.
Right.
If there was a fault in that first design, then they would switch over to this other design that doesn't have that fault, and then combine that resolution with B to make it to where that works. Now, they can't do a full housing change to the point where every single part of the internals change besides like, I don't know, like small parts of the display. Like even the glass on the display, it would be flat, first of all, if it was, if it was ripped straight from the Series 7 leak that we've seen. So
Yeah.
there's small details like that. I mean, the only thing that's going to happen with the Series 7 or the Series 8 now, which is going to be the redesign that we've been seeing and leaked for over almost a year now, as well as a processor bump and some sort of metric changes as far as like how it measures your blood pressure or whatever. But that's really it. So
I like how Apple keeps improving their SoC on the Apple Watch, as if we need more computing power on our wrists. Like, yeah, we need the power of a fucking MacBook on our wrist to be able to calculate the pulse of our body.
Yeah,
just 0.1 second faster. We need that power. It's like, yeah.
Well,
And
what they're trying to do is they're trying to market towards the cellular consumers. So they're trying to push people away from being on their iPhones all the time and not having to bring it with them, let's say on like jogs and stuff, or just going out without their iPhone and being able to just rely like solely on their watch. So the processor speeds aren't really what they're looking for. They're mainly looking for efficiency for the battery to make it to where it lasts long enough to the point where you don't need to carry your iPhone with you.
Honestly, that definitely needs work because the Series 6, I'm sorry, like this has the worst battery life ever on a watch. Yeah. And I is there a way to turn off the always on display? Because I mean, I wonder if
you can.
Difference. But like, I feel like that really does hinder. I mean, we went on a bike ride yesterday, and I got to use the watch for 20 minutes before it died again.
Yeah, there's always on section right there on settings you can turn off, like right there.
Okay. Yeah, I'll try that and see if that actually makes any difference, because I don't necessarily care about it being always on. Because if I raise my wrist and it still shows it like it did before, then I'm fine with that.
Right.
And that probably would improve the crap out of it, because I mean, it's not necessary for me to have it always on like that.
But the thing they need to change is that doesn't it ramp down to like 1 hertz anyway? Like doesn't it barely sit power?
So what they need to change is an option to be able to turn off fast charging, because that's what's killing the watch essentially, is just fast charging every single day. You put it on the charger overnight and it's draining it. Like my Series 5 doesn't have the new fast charging chip in it to be able to make it to where it uses
the battery.
Right, it degrades it faster.
Okay, but are we using like a higher wattage brick? Because I'm still using a 5-watt brick with this thing.
No, it uses all 5 watts. If you wanted to use like a 2-volt brick, maybe that would stop it.
2 watt.
5 watt is the lowest that I've.
I know. Yeah, I don't even know if that's a thing.
Like the original brick for the iPhone, like 5 or stuff.
I think PCs use 3-watt charging through standard USB.
They might.
I'm pretty sure.
But I mean, like the only thing I really have is a MacBook, and that uses like a higher wattage from its ports. So
right, it's all USB-C and Thunderbolt. So it's just like I don't know. There's literally all I have to do is make an option where you can disable fast charging so the battery doesn't degrade immediately. But they won't do that.
12 Pro is trash. So
kind of straying away from Apple Watches. But Ian, did you talk about your new iPhones yet? The new iPhones you got?
No, I like it. I really like it so far. So I obviously got the Sierra Blue. Obviously got no views on that video, but that's okay. What color did you get? Did you get the blue?
Yep, I got basically the exact same thing you did.
Damn,
Wow.
I'm the only one that got graphite.
Yep.
Blue's the
y'all
only
are-
good
y'all
one
are
here.
basic, man.
Hey,
Y'all are
and
basic.
you know what? And you know what's sad is you could have made a video and you could have made a lot of views because all the other colors got views except for this one because everyone bought this one. No
Look
one
at
bought
that.
the graphite. No one bought
Wait,
silver.
I'm not a YouTuber.
Oh well,
You could be.
You could have let me borrow the video.
That is true, actually. Now that I think about it.
My wife got the
apologize.
silver. It arrives tomorrow, so I might unbox
Oh, that's
that.
good.
Drew, you better because you're doing very well on your views right now. You're doing
Yeah,
really well.
dude, Drew,
So
your
you
videos
better.
are doing great right now.
Yeah, he's pumping up. Before we know it, it'll be CES with Drew lips instead of.
Basically, yeah, good.
But
But yeah,
And,
no,
Ian, you got a second 13 Pro Max coming your way too.
I need to cancel it honestly, but
Or-
here's the deal. Here's what I want.
We need to
So
talk about
like,
that a little bit after the stream, you know?
so I'll tell you the reason I bought the second one. So the reason was when the day of pre-order, I'm like an hour behind. I'm in Central Time, so it would have been 2 hours. I would have had to wait to actually order. So like it would have opened at 7 a.m. I go to class and I can't have my phone because we're in a compound. We have top secret, can't do anything. Can't bring phones or anything in there. So I couldn't bring my phone, and I also everything has two-factor authentication. So I could access Apple's website on the computer there, but I couldn't get into my account because it's two-factor authentication. So I screwed myself there because I could have technically ordered it probably.
yeah.
I think. So I ended up having to wait until I got out at noon. We get out at noon. I go immediately to my room and I try to order it. And I did that one-step thing that they did where you do it beforehand, and all you do is click it. And
Yeah.
I watched the time slip because I was on the website. I watched it happen. I was just like, wow. So by the time I got to it, it's October 18th to 25th. So I was like, I really want this phone now. But then again, I mean, I was using the dummy model of the 13 Pro Max that I have here for videos, and it seemed to do okay. I'm pretty sure that's the only reason I got downvotes is because I was using a dummy model. But I mean, I compared the dummy model to the real thing, and they're pretty much almost alike. So I don't see why people could be mad about that.
Yeah.
So what I ended up doing was I contacted T-Mobile, and the reason I bought it outright is because I was trying not to lease anymore. Because every time I lease, I'm just wasting money every single time. Because I now have another phone I'm sending back that I didn't pay off, that I just paid a bunch of money on. So I paid a bunch of money on this phone. I'm not keeping it, and I just wasted a year's worth of payments on a phone I'm not going to get to keep. So it'd be better for me to actually buy these outright, sell them at the end of the year, and then buy a new one.
Yeah.
So that's my own fault. So what I ended up doing was I contacted T-Mobile and I was like, hey, how much would it be for this phone? And I also said, hey, when can you deliver this? And they were like, oh, it'll get you between September 25th and October 5th. And I was like, fine. I gave in. And I said, how much is this going to cost me? They said, $350 down. I was like, fine, take my money. And here it is. It came on time. So that's all. That's
good.
I'm happy with that.
Got here
It came
before
on time.
October.
Yeah, and I can make videos with it. So,
Yeah.
I mean, if I can make some videos with it and it kind of ends up being worthwhile, then I'm fine with it. But I don't know what. So I have 20 days I can keep this before I have to give it back if I don't want to keep it. And then because I did jump on demand, there's no restocking fee, which is good. So I'm kind of like, I have this incentive to say, should I keep this or should I send it back and keep the 12 Pro, pay it off, sell it, and then wait for the one in October to come? That's why I'm in this dilemma. It's a dilemma that I don't know if I should.
Yeah. I mean, the only problem is that the 12 Pros are kind of hard to sell used right now.
And what are they even going for? Because what I owe on
like $7.
See there, it might not be worth it. So like
you got a 128 gig, right?
Yeah, 128 gig 12 Pro Pacific Blue, perfect condition, 92% battery health, not the greatest.
Does it have AC Plus on it?
Yes.
Could get that battery swap before you sell it. Just saying.
But I don't. I'm 175 miles away from the nearest Apple store.
Okay, then maybe not.
But see, the problem is I could send it in, right? I could send it in for Apple Care Plus.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is I still have a limited time to have this. So do I just swap to another phone for the time I don't have the 12 Pro, wait for it to come back, use it until the end? It's a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
So
the prices vary a lot, and they're like mid 700, low 700, around there.
So what do you think? So do you think it would be worth me? So I owe $442 on this phone if I buy it outright.
400.
It is already unlocked. It's already unlocked. I can already get rid of it if I want to. So I either keep it, buy it, and then sell it and make a $200-300 profit, if that.
You know what I'd do
Not
is
really
I'd
a profit,
call
but-
Apple and see if you can, if it'd be too late to adjust your order. Has it already shipped? It hasn't shipped yet, right? So theoretically, they could still make some sort of billing adjustment to where that you can use like a Apple Store gift card towards your purchase through the Apple Store, which would mean that you would be trading your 12 Pro into Apple for like $690 or whatever they give you, and then
Yeah, they give you
using
$690
that
for the 12
towards
Pro.
the 12 Pro or the 13 Pro Max that you ordered, and then pay off the rest.
That's a good point. Okay.
And then
that
you
way
give
I-
back
Ian,
the
I'd
13
like
Pro
to-
Max from T-Mobile.
I'd like to talk to you about the second one, if possible. The second 13 Pro Max coming, if possible. I don't know. It's just easier to talk.
If I decide to keep it or not.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it later.
We'll
We'll talk about it.
We'll talk. Oh, it's $640 for the 12 Pro.
640.
Yeah.
That's still more than I owe. I mean,
You're right.
but that's
Yeah,
only,
you could.
That's only what? How much? I'm only getting $200 tacked onto the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm,
Well, the problem is, if you were to sell like eBay or something like that, you'd have to end up having to pay seller fees, which
Yep.
it would probably lower it down to below 640, if anything. So
yeah,
iPhone 8's 110, by the way.
110.
Yes.
You know, and I'm not gonna lie. I thought about just trading this in for a Z Flip because
the
it's still
hell you are?
$300.
No.
Eh,
I wouldn't even play. I wouldn't even pay
are.
600 for a Z Flip. No, I wouldn't pay 400 for this stupid thing. It sucks.
What is it that bad?
It
Yeah,
sucks.
you have to
It's
stay on
just
the charger.
garbage. Yeah.
You got to stay on the charger all day because it dies as soon as
And
you
even
take
when
it
you're
off.
off the charger, it's not great. It's just sucks. I don't know what to
Yeah.
tell you. It's not
So
good.
how big is the battery in that phone? How big is the battery in the Z Flip?
Not big enough.
Like,
Not
Alright,
big
so-
enough.
What do you think is the draining factor in that phone? What's the draining factor in it?
It's the processor. It's not efficient enough to be able to run it at a decent speed at a
So
normal time.
that's why Motorola and some of the others made some compromises with the processor.
Yeah, like I literally had to put this thing in power saving mode to be able to get it like to last it through the day.
I have to say
So-
this too. The screen on this phone is obscenely bright. It gets
Oh, yeah.
really extra bright. I was really
It's a
impressed.
lot
with that.
brighter
I
than
was
this Pro.
literally outside, and that shit was blaring bright.
Mhm.
I wish I could say the
Insanely.
same thing about. I wish I could say the same thing about the iPad Mini, but the display on that is terrible. It's like
Mhm.
super dim. Yeah.
Which one is it? Which
Does
one?
the mini
iPad
does
mini.
the mini have the jelly scrolling issue?
Only so it only has it when you're switching between like the apps on the home screen, which I noticed the base model iPad has that as well. Like pretty much all the cheaper iPads have that same. I don't really
So-
call it an issue. It's just more of like
So, Drew, what's the brightness level on that? How many nits is it? Is it 500 or is it more?
On the iPad Mini. Good question.
Yeah. So and you know, and the iPad Mini is a weird device because there's a loyal following because people.
It's 500.
Okay, so that's actually pretty sad. That's pretty bad. So
Yes.
what is that compared to like the iPad Pro? iPad Pro is probably got 800 on it,
Oh,
or 8.
Yeah.
it's got HDR now, so I think 1,000.
With HDR content, but what is it regularly? Like what is it?
It's
on
yeah, it's 1,000, and then
Yep.
16. Actually, it
That's-
gets up to 1,600. It gets up to 1,600.
Is that only on the 12.9 inch, or is that on both the 11?
It's on
and
the 12.9. The 11 inch gets 600.
That okay? So it's a smaller screen. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's
But-
because it's not mini LED.
Yeah.
But so the thing that's crazy to me though is like the Mini has a following because it's a mini device. I've noticed that the mini devices get a niche following, and I think that's why they continue to make them. So the iPad Mini, even though it probably isn't going to be the best tablet, I do want to see it. I haven't seen it in person, so
Yeah.
I think it's going to have a following because people like it. People actually like the device. They like to have smaller devices. So yeah, if you haven't seen his video, go check it out. He's made videos on this thing already.
Oh, you got the
Um,
Starlight color. That's right. What does it look like? Is it?
I actually like
Cool.
it. It's like it's not gold, but it's, I don't know, in different lighting. It's hard to
I
tell
hate-
here.
It's so weird
I hate
because
that.
one thing that I don't know if it was maybe I might be thinking of something else. It might be the Mandela effect going on, but I could have sworn that Starlight was green. Like I thought, not like like neon green. I thought that it was like a super pale green,
Like
but
a
I guess that
seafoam
was
green?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like something
I
like
can see
that.
that.
That's what I originally thought it was, but no, it's
Yeah.
because I heard when
I'm
the first that I had heard that it was like a silver gold was when Marquez talked about it. But yeah, no.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of annoyed with the colors they've had on the iPad Air and the Mini. Like these are such like dull.
They're all muted.
They're
like-
very muted colors. But of course, it comes. Look at that. It comes with the brick.
Ooh,
Oh, it
20,
comes with the
20
watt
watt. Ooh.
Oh look. Hey, Drew. That's a $20 value.
Wait, is it a 20 watt or is it an 18 watt?
It's a 20.
It's 20.
Huh. Good Apple.
They have the Starlight on the regular 13, which is white. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like
on
Starlight is
the
going to
bezels,
turn
but-
into a space gray situation where every year it's going to be a different color.
But it's just like
Yep.
the blue one last year with the iPad Air. The blue
Or the red
it
one with
looks like-
last
it
year
looks
with the
like gray.
iPhone.
I was going to
12.
say,
Why can't we get?
Ian,
was it
was it
Consistent
you that
colors?
posted the picture of the red iPhone? It was like the I can't remember which. Yeah, I think it was you because you had posted
the 11
like
or the 12 versus the 13?
yeah, exactly.
Recently?
Yeah, the reds.
Yeah, I like the really dark because the 11 had that dark red. That's the color. I had the 11 in the dark red, and I really liked the red. And then they came out with the 12 in red, and it's like this pinkish kind of hue. I saw it in person. I was like, ugh. But then they came out with this nice dark red again. And it's so funny because I hope someone's collecting all the red phones just to have a big ass comparison of them. Because the iPhone 8 had a really good red. This is obviously a case, but they had a good red on that one. And then they had the 10R had a lighter red. The 11 I thought had a really nice dark deep red, and then it was like that pinkish red, and then this deep red again. So it's just funny to me that every year they come out with some different variation of the red, but it's the same thing with the blue.
I'll tell you what, one color that I always really wanted to see in person that I never will, but one color I always wanted to see was when the iPhone 10 it had leaked like some images of it leak. I think it was like a FCC thing, but it
red
had leaked in that.
Steel?
No, it was bronze. It was like a copper kind of bronzy look. I never would go for that, but I always really wanted to see it in person because in photos it looked so crazy interesting.
Adam,
wait, hold on. Let me just let you know something. That bronze color that you saw on the 10 is just an oversaturated color of what we got in 10s. It's exactly the same.
But it reminds me of, Adam. It reminds me of have you seen those HP laptops? Like they're kind of higher end ones that have they're the matte black
like the Omen stuff.
Mm-hmm.
No, not Omen. They're like
right.
No, they're like most. They're highest, the other ones.
Spectre?
You know how you can tell those apart is because it has the new HP logo. But they reserve that for their high end, for their pro products.
But that combination of that kind of brown matte black with the kind of trim being in bronze actually kind of gave it a real classy look. So if I don't think Apple would ever do that. That's more like, but like I could see like Samsung doing something like that, and that would look really nice.
I remember when I first, because I was one of the first people to release the picture of the 10s without the watermarks on it, because I had gotten some of the pictures like without the watermark, and so when I had first released that, one of the first things that I did was I went to extract the wallpaper because that at the time that was kind of one of the first things that you would do. And I remember looking at in really close detail because those pictures were super high quality, but it was always really interesting to me to see how the gold played out, because I don't know if y'all remember, but the 10 was originally supposed to release in a gold color as well, and it was that bronze color that had leaked. And I always thought that gold looked better than the 10s gold because it, like Ian said, it just looked more classy. Like something about it, it looked like aged gold almost. Like it just kind of like the darker gold just kind of gave it a more, I don't know, something about it just really clicked a lot with me. And that's kind of one of the reasons why I always wanted to see it in person, because Apple's, kind of the way that their color process for their phones is always really interesting. So.
Yeah, I don't know why they do these kind of dulled colors, but it was funny because I was gonna post this earlier and I decided not to. Was like this rose gold on 8. I think it actually looks really like just nice and clean. I don't know what it was. You probably can't see it very well in this, but it looked I just think that the way they did it's very subtle, has a nice color, nice hue to it, and it's kind of like I appreciate it. Later on down the road, you appreciate these colors because they do it very well.
I wish so badly. I remember because when I got my 10, I wished so badly that the 10 had come in that color because I no doubt would have gotten that color. but the 10 had only come in those two colors. But I'll tell you what, I have a soft spot in my heart for the and this is kind of a side tangent. This really isn't important, but I have a soft spot in my heart for the red iPhone 8 because the commercial for it had a song by an artist that I actually know. And so I always thought that was kind of cool that one of their songs had made it into an Apple commercial. I thought that was kind of neat. So
I'm gonna be honest.
That's fucking epic.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna be honest. My favorite all-time red for Apple has to be the 12. And it's like a super unpopular opinion, but like I don't know, something about that red just kind of clicked with me. Like I really liked it. Like
the
it
12?
didn't look. Yeah, the 12. Yeah.
The 12.
Yeah, the 12. The
one
traffic cone red
with
12.
a passion.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the one Ian hates.
I'm disappointed.
It looks good.
Okay, all right. Not to get off that subject, but did you guys happen to see the Z Fold 3 that spontaneously combusted?
Yeah,
Yes, but that was because it was already broken already. Like he dropped it.
Well, no, he said he dropped it, so I realized that. So let me ask you this: Do you think that one? I don't know how bad of a drop this was, but like, do you think that is something that is normal to happen?
Well, if you drop it could disconnect some sort of connector somehow, maybe, and then short that.
That had to be a pretty
short something
tough
out,
drop.
and then
I would think.
I don't know what kind of drop. It didn't specify, but I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know. I'll tell you what though, that's not a good look for Samsung. That's a bad look for Sammy. That's not good.
But the thing is, I mean, it's not the first phone to do it. It's not the last phone that will do it. We have batteries in all our devices. They can explode at any time. I mean, they're
terrifying.
That's how they are.
Hey, iPhone, I hope you explode so I can make lawsuit. Thank you.
I'll tell you what, when I first got my 6S and the battery that was in it, I had to replace it. I remember taking the screws out of the bottom, and as soon as that screw came out, the screen went, and I took the screen off, and that battery was bulging. Like it was bad. I was scared. Like I was genuinely scared because I remember how bad the battery life was when I first got that phone. Like, I mean, it was like 10 minutes and it was dead. And as soon as I took that screen off, it was like, oh God, that's so bad. So yeah.
I
know how you eat a lot and then you take your belt off? That's exactly what happened.
Yeah. There you go. God.
I did replace a phone, or I replaced a battery in a phone once, and I remember I took the spudger and I went too hard in it and I actually punctured it, and the thing started doing exactly what that guy's phone did, and I was like, oh shit. So I took it out in the garage just to let it do its thing, let it pucker out, But yeah, it's scary when that stuff happens. It smells bad. There's smoke coming out of it. It's just like, oh shit, you don't.
No, it's not a good smell. I think.
It's not, and it's toxic too. One of the first things that they say is that if that happens, you need to go outside or take it outside immediately because it's toxic.
Like breathing in carbon monoxide or something.
Well, there was there was a phone that I got, or like a part of a phone that I got that was like a part of a Tech Rex destroyed phone thing.
Was that picture that you posted?
No. It's different. But it was like the logic board and the phone's battery had combusted, and the logic board itself like reeked. Like it was bad. I had to soak it in isopropyl for like a good week, and even then, like there was soot all over the bottom of like what I'd soaked it in, and it was
how can you get soot off of something? Is that
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, Google. You have to use Google
for soot.
That was a joke. I don't know how.
I was going to say, do you know for sure? Like what?
The only I tell you what, the worst, to this very day, the worst corrosion I've ever seen on a phone was that Pixel 2 XL when I opened it up, and the whole metal casing was covered in corrosion. The whole board was covered in corrosion. I'm surprised that thing still worked. I mentioned this before. I was stunned that phone still even turned on without exploding because the corrosion was so bad. I mean, literally, like I felt like if I blew on it, like it would just like disintegrate in the dust. Like it was so bad. It was just crazy. I didn't want to touch it. Like because I felt like I was gonna like get it on me. Like it was disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Note 7 is still my favorite phone.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I had 3 of those. I loved that thing. I did
Dude, the
not
Note
want to give
7
it up.
was freaking awesome, dude. Like, I
Mhm.
mean,
And it was so funny because the battery life on that phone was incredible,
Oh yeah.
but it came at a
there's a
cost.
reason for
Like,
that. Yeah.
It came at a cost. That's an understatement.
right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. It
No,
it really blew up.
I think they kind of redeemed themselves because I think the Note 8 was kind of that sitting period where they kind of try to gain their customers' trust back, and then the Note
Yeah,
9 was
because
that
they
like good
have the
phone after
battery
that.
capacity. Yeah, like it was horrible.
Yeah, no, I remember the Note 9 was one of the best ones besides the Note 7, and then the Note 10 was weird. I mean, it was all right, but it wasn't my favorite at all. It kind of sucked.
I will say though, the Note 10 was. I want to say, and I'm just stating this for the record, the Note 10 was very understated because after the Note 9, it was a situation where after the Note 9, I mean, there was just no comparing. The Note 9 was incredible. The Note 9 had a very understated launch, but after people started using it and everything, I mean, it was just a really good phone. But the Note 10 was also a really good phone. My dad had it, and he used it for, matter of fact, until
let me correct you, Adam. Adam, let me correct you. I'm sorry, but the Note 10 Plus was a good phone. The Note 10.
Oh yeah, no. The Note 10, no.
Yeah, no. The Note 10 sucked. The Note 10 Plus was good. That was a good phone. Note 10, no.
Yeah, no. The Note 10, yeah. Well, yeah. Thank you for correcting me on that. Yeah, no.
Yeah,
the Note 10 Plus was a good phone, but it was very understated. It was because, like I said, I think because of how good the Note 9 was, the Note 10 was just never gonna, measure up. I mean, there was just no way.
So this makes me kind of sad. This makes me kind of sad here. So I don't know if you guys know who Gavin is.
No clue.
Kiwi. So anyway, he has a 1982 Lada Niva, so it's a Russian, like a Soviet Union car. Anyway, he has to sell it, but he was going to convert it to electric, and I was really sad to see that because I guess he had something going on, an emergency come up, so he has to sell it. So I really hope that he doesn't have to, but it's kind of sad he has to sell the car. It would have been cool. I actually think that's kind of cool. Like I love kind of seeing that kind of stuff, seeing like conversions like that. So that would have been really cool to see if he was able to complete it. But he got the car like last year, I think, something like that. So that's kind of disappointing. He has to get rid of it. Yeah, it is. It is. And to the question that was posed a minute ago, I will end it in just a moment if you'd like me to.
By the way, back to the Z Flip a little bit.
Yeah.
Ian, don't buy it.
Do it.
Don't buy it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
So here's the thing. You remember what I asked before? If I should just buy a used like Razor? So is that the better bet? Now, also, I did buy the Surface Duo, like you sent me. I bought it. I don't know when the guy's sending it to me, but I don't know when he's sending it to me. I haven't heard anything, so I don't know.
Well, that'll be good. I mean, when it gets there, it'll be a nice phone. I hope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
315. That's pretty good. Adam's computer just froze. He
ripped,
so he will be back in a moment. But hopefully the phone is good. I know it had a lot of problems. Drew, do you still have a Surface Duo? Or did you sell yours?
I sold mine in preparation for this one. So, for this
Ian, I think you already knew the answer before you even asked that question.
Are you spending the $1,500 on it? Are you buying it?
I'm not spending $1,500 on it.
Okay,
no.
so you're gonna wait for it to come down in price. Do you think?
No, I'm buying it at launch, but not for $1,500.
Well, how are you getting it? How are you getting it then? How?
Through Best Buy, and I'm going to use my Best Buy rewards and pick it up on launch day. So, I'm pretty excited to see. I'm pretty excited just to see the leap that it took from the first one.
Well, Drew, if you need to compare it, I will gladly send you mine so you may do a comparison video. So, once I get it, I don't know when does it come out? When does it come out? October 5th?
October 21st. October 21st, which is nuts because that's like the same week that Pixel 6 is supposed to drop. So I don't know why they did that. I think it was a production thing because I think it was slated for October 5th, but I think they had to bump it because of that curved display.
But the laptops are coming out October 5th, right?
October 5th, yeah.
You were talking about you wanted the Surface 8. That was, yeah.
I was looking at getting the Surface Pro 8, but after you add everything to it, it ends up being like $1,800. It's like I don't want to spend $1,800 on that.
Yeah,
You know,
services are hard to configure, especially
they're
with price. It
they're very
sucks.
pricey. And what was crazy is I looked up the Surface what is it called? The Surface Studio laptop.
Am I the
And,
only one that hates that?
I
Yeah,
like
it's
it.
it's
I
weird.
like it. It's a strange design, but I like it. But also, it's expensive. It's more expensive
Yeah.
than a 16-inch MacBook Pro. So it's a 14-inch display, and I think the configuration I got with it was 512 with 16 gigs of RAM, and it was still like $1,800. And I was like,
well, the specs are weird
no,
too.
no.
Like,
yeah, it was like $800 or something like that.
yeah, the
Some
specs
crazy
are
ass amount.
weird for what you get. Like, I wasn't.
Yeah.
I don't know. It threw me off.
There's,
And then
there's no Core i9. There's no i9
Yeah.
at all.
And then the event was weird. The event was
Yeah.
like 45 minutes long and no pricing. It was like, oh, our stuff will be on pre-order today, and that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm more excited.
little weird.
What are you
I'm
talking
more excited
about?
to have Windows 11 out.
Surface.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm more excited about Windows 11 than anything.
You're welcome.
But also,
Stop whispering.
let's hope that the Surface Duo actually gets Android 11 and then maybe 12, because that was an expensive ass device up
Yeah.
front. Are we freezing again? Okay, we're
Yeah.
frozen again.
There you go.
Oh, there he is. Is he there? Okay, he's moving a little bit.
I actually think that's part of the why they delayed it. I think it's
Oh.
because of the Android 11 debacle. Like, because
Yeah.
Android 11 isn't even on the current Duo. So
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the
I
craziest
could've.
thing to me.
Have you
And
have
then-
you seen the video? Have you seen the videos of Android 11 running on the Surface?
hmm
It's bad, man. I don't
Is
know
it?
if it's just because it's pre-production software, but it's bad. The animations are non-existent. There's no animations currently. Apps
You
are
were
barely
talking to
running.
like-
It's
Oh.
it's
Sorry,
it's
Adam,
not
continue.
great.
All right.
It's,
we-
it's good.
are we
There was
going
there's
Okay.
Yeah,
So
but
there's what's going on.
anyways, I guess that'll.
What's going on? What the
I
fuck?
don't know.
Alright.
I'm
Alright,
wait, before we end the
hang
stream,
on.
I wanted to show something off real quick.
Okay.
I recently got this iOS 8. Oh, you can't even see it. God damn. iOS
Turn down the brightness.
8.1 iPhone 6 working. It's
Very
like,
nice.
yeah. It's got
You know
that
what
good
still
old
disappoints me?
would
You know what
turn
still
on.
disappoints me, Michael?
What
Is I
disappoints
bought
you
an
about
iOS,
this?
I bought an iOS 8 iPhone 6, and the thing is busted because the NAND is gone. The NAND is gone.
Ooh.
Hold on.
Yeah,
How-
that's
how-
not
I
an
was
issue.
talking to myself in the Twitter live chat. Oh crap! You know I don't know what happened with that. I think they changed something up because it says it can't post comments to some destinations. So I'm sorry about that. Captain America up there, not me.
I know
I can't-
exactly who you're talking about. Fuck
me.
you.
What?
Oh, is it you? Oh yeah, it's you with that. With
Yeah, it's me. It's me.
Yeah.
You know what
All right.
disappoints me, Ian? Oh god.
I'm disappointed by life. Anyway, I need to go
Alright.
study because I need to also go to bed because I get up at 5 a.m. So,
Oh, I need to
Um,
study. I need to go to bed. Oh no.
oh, are you making fun of me? Why are you giving me a
Yeah.
little voice? Why are you giving me a little accent? Oh, that's me. That's gonna be me in just a second. That's gonna be so me.
Basically.
All right.
Ian's
Yes,
got
my
a
one.
letter he's got to
You know
finish.
what? You know what? He's got to tell me. All right. I'm sorry I didn't get marksman. I'm sorry I didn't get sharpshooter. I'm sorry I am still a little baby. I am still a spam box. I hate you so much. All right. That's a wrap. All right. Okay. Take
Wait,
it.
should we do the what's it called? The timer?
No,
Like,
no. Okay, we're not doing
Why
what the
do we
hell's
do
wrong
this?
with you? Why would
No.
you do that?
Why do we
we're
do
not
this?
doing
Why
that.
do we do this?
No, we're not doing it. All right.
Why?
Thank
It
you
was
so
a
much,
vibe.
everyone. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. So, as you know, we have our usual crew here. So, thank you to Michael for putting that crap on for a minute.
And starting the stream without you? Yeah, you're welcome.
Yes,
I got
thank
you.
Hey, I
Yep.
have to run because I have a physical fitness thing. Yeah, that's me. That's
Mhm.
gonna be me in a minute. Thanks to Drew. Thanks to Adam. And thanks to our bowl of potatoes over here, our Mr. Bowl of
Yeah, that's what I
All right.
thought.
Yes.
And we will
yes,
see
thank
you
so much.
next week. Same time, same
Yes.
place. Goodbye.
Maybe same time, but same
Bye-bye.
place. Bye, everyone.
Probably.